Hi everybody, it's me, Steph. I've been asked by quite a few people about my new prosthetic arm and how it works. The company that I deal with, Wright & Phillips, is who made my arm this time and has made all my previous arms. And so I'm going to do a little bit of a demonstration of the new arm, how it works, and unfortunately the video had cut off while I was putting it on. But it is a pull-in arm, which I put a plastic sleeve on my arm, and I weave it into here. There's a hole right here. Kind of can't turn my arm that way, but there's a hole right on the other side of here that I pull it through, and it pulls my whole arm into it so that I'm not like going like this constantly like I was with my other. And on this side of the arm, you'll see that there's a glowing spot. That's for me to turn it on and off with my thumb. And that's off. So now you won't see anything glowing. I turn it back on, and it's glowing again. And then I just bring down the glove over that little spot right there, and it keeps the dust and the dirt out. And you can kind of see my hand is already moving. The thumb is still manual, which means that I have to move it myself, but the rest of the hand moves itself. It has much more of a glide to it than my previous prosthetic arms, which were more, you know, like a robot. They're trying to make them a little bit more glidey, if you will, for lack of technical terms. So I'm going to show you some of the different attachments that I have that go along with this arm. Not so much attachments, but more of the technical part of it, what I can and can't do with it, and what I'm trying out right now. The previous arm I had, I tested this out about 3 years ago. Looks like a regular iPhone, iPod, and pretty much that's what it is. And what it does is it changes the gestures of my arm so that I don't have to go into the prosthetist every time I want a few more gestures put on. Normal hands hold up to 5 gestures, but with this you can change it 20, 30, depending on what this is programmed for. It's nice because when you're somewhere and you want to do a different gesture and you can't you know, do it because of the fact that you would have to go to the prosthetist, he'd have to go into the computer and do it. Makes it easier if you have one of these, but now they've upgraded me to a little bit nicer, slicker looking one, and unfortunately it's not charged. But what happens is when I turn it on, it gives me multiple different gestures, and I pick them, which ones I want, and it automatically tells the arm these are the gestures she wants, and those are the gestures that I get. If I want to midday change to a different gesture, say the peace sign, or the pointing of the finger, or grasping, anything that a normal hand would do, I can make it do with this by having this with me. So that is a really cool thing, and I didn't know I had a charger cord with it. I should have known that, but I didn't know it. And the new thing that I really like is it's a car charger. Now, the car charger is just like a car charger for your phone. On the end, you can see that it's got the little divots on it that connect to my arm. Unfortunately, while you're charging, you can't use your arm. So I don't recommend you trying to drive with an arm that's not charged. But if you are out somewhere and say you're low on charge and you're not near somewhere that has an electrical cord and you're in the car, you can take the arm off and charge it. You can leave the arm on, charge it. It just can't be doing anything other than staying stationary at that point. Give me 1 second and I'm going to grab another part of my new technology. This pretty little blue box is not from, unfortunately, Tiffany's. It's from Touch Bionics. And the name of this hand that I have now is called the Quantrum. It's by iLim. And they have started this new little program that each of these little tiny microchips, I can place them throughout the house, and with the wave of my arm over the top of them, it can also change the gestures of the hand. Meaning that, say in one room, I turn on the light switch quite a bit. Ooh, I don't want to drop it. I turn on the light switch. It'll automatically, when I swipe over the top of it, if the lamp's sitting right there, it'll automatically go into the pinch mode for me to turn the light switch on and off. There's other various things that it can be programmed to. We have yet to program these. It's going to take me a session with the actual company, and then them coming in and teaching me about these microchips. I just got them a little bit earlier than what was originally, than I originally needed them. So this is the nifty little box that all of these stuff comes in. And as with all the other upper prosthetics, gloves. Now, there are a couple different kinds of gloves. I always go with the clear glove. The reason I go with the clear glove is because of the fact that I like it to be more of a teaching hand for kids, adults. If I go and speak somewhere, I like to be able to show them what's going on within the arm, how the fingers move. With a glove that matches your skin tone, they never really match your skin tone unless you go to a certain company, which I'm not going to promote on here, but other amputees know of it, and you can get a glove that's made to your skin tone, scars, hair, nails, however you want it. I choose not to do that. I just don't feel that it's something that I really need. And like I said, I would rather mine be a teaching hand for people than it to be something that I'm trying to cover up. As you can see, I have a blue socket this time. Last time I had a black socket. The time before that I had a pink socket. Because in the beginning I did choose to have a nude color socket, which didn't really match up with my flesh tone. And to me, it was hiding what I have and what I am, and I just didn't feel that it was my preference. So these gloves get changed out quite a bit because I am very hard on them. I've had this hand for about 3 weeks, and I've already ripped it right here. But there's a glove that's a little bit tighter in the skin. So as you can see, when I bend my fingers, you can see that it's kind of gappy, for lack of words. There is a tighter glove that we're going to be putting on tomorrow at the prosthetist. And also, here is another little gadget. Some of you know of them. They're called the rotating wrist. On my last prosthetic I had the rotating wrist, which means that you can make the wrist turn how you want it to turn by your electrodes, which the electrodes are what's inside the arm connected to my skin. It just makes contact with my skin. My brain sends the information down through my nerves, and my nerves send the information through the electrodes to the hand that I'm wanting to open, close it, and do whatever I want to do. But the rotating wrist was something that I chose not to put in this time. But this is the rotating wrist, and it generally goes right up in here, and it can move your wrist from side to side, around, back. I was having a little bit of trouble controlling the hand and controlling the rotating of the wrist at the same time, and because this hand is a little bit more involved, I wanted to concentrate on learning the hand itself and how to make the gestures change and things like that before I went and put the rotating wrist back on, which I'll do in the upcoming months, but as of right now I won't do that. Now, the neat part about this hand is, now when I stay with it just in a normal position, and then I pulse out, what will happen is this finger right here will make a quick pulsing, and And when I move it to this direction, this direction, this direction, or up or down, it can change gestures that way. So I'm not just stuck with opening and closing it. The gestures that are programmed into it right now, one is the pointing of the finger, another one is the 2 points with the finger, and then one is a thumbs up, and the other one I haven't quite figured out yet. So I'm working on that still, so it is a work in progress. Like I said, I've only had this for 3 weeks. The strength is a lot harder than it was before. It's a lot stronger, so I do need to learn to control it a little bit more than I did my last hand. My last hand, I knew when to stop and when not to apply any more pressure. And this hand, being that it is stronger, I really need to make sure, especially if I'm holding something that's delicate, or even holding Joey's hand. Joey has to remind me, Mom, it's, you know, too much. So I'm still learning, and once I go through the little training class that they have, I'll have more information for everybody about the hand. But this is the hand that we were talking about. I did ask them, because we do sweat, upper extremity people out there, I recommend this 100%, because it gets so sweaty inside during the summer months when it's hot out, and your skin your skin can't breathe. It feels just really bad inside, and on top of your arm swelling, then you get itchy. So I had them do a cutout on this side, and I also had them do a cutout on the inner side of here, and also make my elbow a lot bigger, so that I can get to it if I need to scratch, or if it does get sweaty or itchy and too hot for me. So that way I can wear it for a longer duration. I am still on an 8-hour battery, so I still do have to choose what 8 hours of the day I wear it. That has not yet been technically forward as much as I would like it to be, unfortunately. The hand in Miami, same thing, battery life, same thing. The only difference is that they said that they could switch out the battery. The only difference between this hand and that hand is that you will feel in the palm and you feel in the fingertips. So when you touch something, you would feel it, and that's all done by implants here and on the inner part of your arm, and the same device that they use for cochlear implants for people who are deaf or have a severe hearing loss, like my brother has one. It has these little fine wires, and what they do is they basically sew them into the nerve all the way down, and then they connect up with the arm, and once the arm is on, you get your feeling sensation back. They have yet to go forward in any way with the clinical trial so far. Unfortunately, what they're looking for and what they're getting are two different things. They aren't taking into the consideration the human aspect of the trial, where not all of us are going to be perfect. A lot of us who are amputees became amputees because of a trauma, because of an accident, and we do have other parts of our bodies that are injured, for lack of words, like me, who I've had 39 surgeries. So you also have to take into consideration your able arm, which you do have overuse. Even with wearing your arm 8 hours a day, you're going to still have overuse of the opposite arm, and that's just something that they have to still take into consideration. So they're kind of at a standstill at this point with that. But I will keep you guys posted when it arises that I'll go back to Miami. And I hope you like my new arm. I do. This is the first arm that, since I started using the myoelectrics, which was, I started with the very first original one, and I've gone through the motions of all of the different ones. I have all my sockets up on my shelf over there like trophies. And This is the first one that I'm actually very comfortable in. I'm comfortable wearing out in public. I'm comfortable with what it can do and what I can do with it. So it's enhanced my life quite a bit, and I look forward to the technology in the future. Like I said, the name of the hand is the Quantrum, and it's by iLim. And so you might want to talk to your prosthetist if you're an upper extremity person and you would like to look into something a little bit different. Nothing against the hook. I had the hook. It just wasn't for me, unfortunately, and now I have attachments that I can't use, but I can do quite a bit with this one. And so I hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.